This is Canongate. It is basically the part of the old town east of Neverbow Port, which was here and was one of the main gates into the city of Edinburgh. It was, until 1856, technically its own separate city. Let's talk about cities in the UK.
Your name will also go on the list. What is it?
Okay, so there is no standard definition of city in the world. Some countries do it based on numbers, some countries do it based on government, others do it based on what is actually in a settlement, but here on the accursed archipelago, a city is defined as any settlement that is included on the list. How do you get on the list? Well, every now and again, when there's a big event or a big anniversary to mark, there's a competition to choose 4 new cities, one for each home nation. Towns write in to make their case and the lucky one gets chosen. Although the last time this happened, Stanley in the Falklands and Douglas on the Isle of Man got city status. This is how things have been since the 1970s and has led to situations like St Asaph in Wales with a population of 3,500 having city status, while Reading, with a population of 180,000, does not. This system replaced another system which included all the weird eccentricities of the last systems. So basically, city status in the UK is a knighthood for settlements. But what about the last systems? Well, in England it was pretty straightforward. Any settlement with a cathedral was a city, and many of those cities are on the list. Like Wells, with a population of 11,000. But in Scotland, we didn't have cities, we had royal boroughs. Basically, if the monarch of the moment felt like the vibes of a place were right, they got royal borough status, which gave them special rights in relation to things like foreign trade. These included all the current cities in Scotland, but also South Queensferry, Crail, Rossmarkie, Fortrose, Kilrenny, and of course, Canongate. The status of royal borough and the benefits thereof remained valid right up until 1975. But if you're wondering, Canongate lost the last pieces of its independence from Edinburgh in 1856. Just for context, what would become Edinburgh Waverley Station and the Scott Monument were both already built and operational by the time Canongate ceased to be a separate thing from Edinburgh. But it gets weirder. Okay, so, London. Inside London, there are 2 Londons. Greater London, which is what most people think of when they think of London, and the City of London, which is the small area surrounded by the old Roman walls that contain the old financial district. The City of London, however, is not part of Greater London. It is a completely separate city with its own police, mayor, city government, government system and services, and has the right to exist as a separate thing with its own special rights protected by the oldest still existing laws in the UK. CGP has made an excellent video about it. But if me just saying the word CGP made a video about it doesn't make you want to run and watch it, the city's representative to Parliament is called the Remembrancer, which sounds like a Doctor Who character. Here's a list of London landmarks that are not in the City of London. The Houses of Parliament, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye, the Shard, King's Cross, number 10. But it gets worse, believe me. Greater London is what we generally call London, and it's made up of a whole gaggle of councils and authorities that exist under the Greater London Authority, who, alongside getting all these councils to work together as one, also do things like run the Metropolitan Police, Transport for London and the Fire Service. This is generally what people mean when they mean London. However, there is a city that in itself is part of London. The City of Westminster is an official British city, as well as being inside London. So to cap this all off, the City of London is a separate independent city from Greater London, but Greater London has within it the City of Westminster. Okay, so here's the thing. To become a city in the UK, you just need to get on the list. You don't need a separate council. Dunfermline, Inverness and Perth don't. You don't need to be big. Wells and St Asaph aren't. And you don't need to be that geographically distinct from your surrounding area. Westminster and the City of London aren't. All you need to do is to convince a committee to put you on the list. Now here's the thing. All 8 cities in Scotland were once royal boroughs. Dunfermline only became a city again in 2022. It was basically the second to last thing that Queen Elizabeth ever did, which gives me an idea. We should campaign to give Canongate city status. Our case is thus. It was, up until 1856, a separate borough with its own government. Its borough status was granted in 1143, only 19 years after Edinburgh got its royal borough status. If we were in England, under their common law, it would legally be considered time immemorial. That's how long ago it was. But it gets better. It gets so much better. Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, and we take a lot of pride in that. It's a big part of our identity. But here's the thing. The Scottish Parliament is in Canongate. If Canongate gets city status, Edinburgh loses its status as the capital of Scotland to Canongate. Now, why would I, a semi-proud Edinburgher, want Edinburgh to lose its capital status? Well, first off, I live for the chaos. And second off, revenge. Revenge for 35 years of cagers acting like investing in public transport is a war crime. Revenge for the lack of railway station. Revenge for the 12 years of hell that was my school experience. Revenge for your utter lack of infrastructural imagination. Revenge for everything. Deep breaths, Abby. Deep breaths. So yeah, I think Canongate should get its city status back.